it in motion, motion. Put it in motion, motion. Gotta be one of a kind, yeah, yeah. What's up? It's Ian Matthew with Mystery Girl Radio. Find Mystery Girl.
Hey, put it in motion, Ian Matthew. This is Mystery Girl. I'm here with my co-host, DJ Enigma. You're there this time. And we actually have Ian Matthew in the building. Say what up.
Yep.
Hey.
What up?
So thanks for coming by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I know you got a lot going on. You have work like a few hours after this, I think you said. Yeah. Which I was like, he's about it. Like, he's hustling. He's not messing around out here. Thanks for coming through. It's like nice to finally meet you in person.
Likewise.
I feel like I interact with so many people on social media, and then when I meet them in person, I'm like, finally.
I know,
you know what I mean?
It's that generation, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm still getting used to it, though, because it's like, I feel like we came in the generation where that's the generation, but then we were before.
Yeah, we were like in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like still kind of weird for me. I prefer to see people, in person. But anyway, that was Put It in Motion. So that's your latest release, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when did you drop that?
Like 2 months ago.
Okay, so it's pretty recent. I like that one, actually. That's one of my favorites, Put It in Motion. And so just to give people a little taste of your music and what you do. But let's let people know who you are first, obviously. So Ian Matthew, but you go by IanUpNorth.
Well, no, my social media is all IanUpNorth.
IanUpNorth.
Yeah, I do go by Ian Matthew on my like iTunes, and like if on my artist name is Ian Matthew.
Okay. Just social media is IanUpNorth. It's not your artist
name.
What's
funny is actually we've had that conversation of should we change the name, because I actually get addressed as IanUpNorth quite a bit.
Right.
So we were kind of like debating on should we change, should we just go there,
Yeah.
We were just talking about that the other day, because I was like, I forget what she said. She said something, and I used somebody's Instagram handle. She's like, that's not their name. I was like, yo, it's 2019.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's Instagram.
Everybody, yeah.
Well, you said this about him too.
Oh,
you were
like, I think that was right.
He was like, oh, who's coming? And
she's like,
who do you want to have come? And I was like, Ian Matthew. And he was like, who? And he's like, IanUpNorth, you mean? Yeah.
That might solidify the decision right there.
Right.
Because, we really been talking about it.
It just happens.
It just happens. Yeah.
It's kind of like a nickname. If it just sticks, it sticks.
Right, exactly. I like it, though. I like it.
I do.
Yeah, I think it's good. So, let me know. Keep me posted on that. Let me know what you decide.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah. So you're from Connecticut? Were you born and raised in Connecticut?
Born and raised Torrington, Connecticut.
Okay. All right, cool. So it makes sense, IanUpNorth. And so I was, going through, just going through your stuff. And you were on a podcast recently, right?
Yeah.
I was going through my feed, and you were talking about how, because I know you play guitar, which is interesting to me, and you're pretty good at it.
Thank you.
But you do hip hop, and I thought that was interesting. And then I saw you were telling a story about how you used to be like in a punk like rock band or something. Yeah, so I was like, I want to hear this story too. Like, what's going on? Like, so that I'm assuming that's how you started.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, like my father was a guitar player.
Okay.
So like I grew up and I had guitars all around the house.
Right.
And he would buy us the toys that we wanted. And he would say, you can play with these toys as long as you show me a G chord, a B chord, a F chord, a D chord, a A chord, basically the basic 7 chords.
Oh, dope.
And so we would have to show him those, and that we could play them. Mind you, I was probably like 7 years old, so like he had full-scale guitars, that was like really hurting my fingers, and like my brother was maybe 3 years older than me, so he kind of had an advantage on me. But it was just taught to just, you had to learn these chords, and then you could go play with your toys.
Okay.
So
that's smart.
I'm so jealous.
Clever.
Yeah, so it was like so we learned, me and my brother both learned the chords, and he was kind of just, all right, there you guys go. As long as he was kind of like, as long as I know that I taught you these 7 chords, so you can run with it. If you want to run with it, you'll run with it.
Right.
If not, then I know that at least I tried, because he's very passionate about his his music himself.
Okay.
So he always wanted to pass it down to us, and it definitely stuck with us. And it was something that I kind of strayed away from, and I'm picking it up more now, and I'm like adding it into my music now, because I feel like it's worthless to not use it.
Right.
So we're just kind of now putting it into the music. But I had always played. I'd always been like a side guitar player, you know.
Okay.
But yeah,
your dad's a smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we always have conversations, DJ Enigma and I, about how I wish my parents like made me stick with an instrument or something when I was younger, you know, because
I got lucky.
Yeah, it really.
My mother bought me my first microphone and my first mixer.
Oh, that's really dope.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Really dope.
So I don't think she knows she started, but
she started something now. Yeah. So then you ended up in this band, right? As a kid.
Yeah.
Though.
So we were kids, and at the time there was a lot of kids that were in the scene, and like in Torrington, the scene, the punk scene, the hardcore scene was huge.
I remember that.
It was huge. You know what I mean? Like we had shows that were, you know, really
My
good.
boys used to go up there a lot.
Yeah, like we had people that, like you said, people coming from Norwalk to come to the show. So like, I don't know, it was just the scene. I don't know if it was just us at the time, the age that we were all at, and we were all kind of into it. But like, my brother was older, and I was probably like 12. And I would always like want to follow my brother's footsteps, and he was in a band, so like I wanted to be in a band. So I kind of got some kids together, and we ended up doing a battle of the bands. And for us, it was like we were okay, but the fact that we were 12 was like, you know, people were like, "Oh my God, this is so funny." It was like cute to them, you know what I mean? It was like you couldn't not like us, you know. Right. So they kind of like took it over the edge, like they'd throw panties on the stage, and they'd have crazy signs, and you know, and like I said, I was 12 years old. My mother was in the crowd, you know, so she was like looking at these signs, like I creamed my jeans for victory lap or whatever.
Oh my God!
You know, so it was like my first experience of being like a front man in a band and being on stage and being like, I like this, like this is cool to have all eyes on me, and I'm comfortable, you know, I'm not scared, I really felt like that was where I belonged. So I always ran with it. But in a band, you need at least 3 people, 4 people. Right. And as kids got older, they wanted to play baseball, they wanted to do sports, they wanted to do this. This wasn't for me. I wanted to do music. I was a music guy. So I kind of, you know, just did my own thing and whatever, focused on my own music. Then 16, 17 came around. I was the kid that rapped in the backseat of the car. You know what I mean? Then we had like just a MacBook. We just rapped into the MacBook one day, handed it out to a couple people, and it stuck. So like, I realized I didn't really need the band. I was able to do my own music on my own. So I kind of ran with like the hip hop, because I was always a student of all music, and hip hop was definitely something that I took time to learn. It wasn't like, I guess, my first genre that I learned, or first genre that I was introduced to, but I took time to learn all genres. You know what I mean? So like hip hop was something that I was like, wow, this is really dope. This is really cool, and you could do it by yourself. Right. So it was something that I took to.
Okay, that's an interesting journey, because I was wondering how you went from the punk rock band to the hip hop. I think it makes sense though.
I think it gave me a good like. Playing guitar, you have to learn really good rhythm. You have to learn. And my father was a rhythm guitarist as opposed to like a lead guitarist, so he taught me rhythm, which I think translated really well into hip hop, because you have to learn how to rhythm obviously on the beat, and how you ride the beat, and how you write and all that. But the energy also of like a punk show. I don't know if you ever like been to one, but it's just like the energy that the band has and that the fans have. There's like this middle ground that they all meet on. It's like, hey, that's your brother. In the crowd tonight, you might not know him, but we're all here for one common denominator, and that's to have a good time. And I always loved that. It was like, if you're in the pit and your brother falls down, pick him up. Right. If somebody's crowd surfing, make sure you hold him up. It was just cool because you come and it was just, you meet new people, and it was just a really great experience and vibe on how music should be and what music was for a community of people coming together. So I always try to take that and bring that into hip hop. Not that it's not there already, but I try to really focus on that as opposed to just being like, you're here for me. It's, look at everybody in the crowd right now. You don't know anybody in the crowd. You may not know the person to the left of you, the person right to the right to you. Right. But we're all here for one common denominator, and that's just have a good time. Yeah. So as different as we may be, we can always find one common thing to come together. Even if it is music. Yeah, music. So it's like, that was always the vibe that I got from punk shows. It was always just like, we're here together. We're here as one. So it was like, I always try to bring that to my show. So I like.
That's dope. That's really dope. And if you're going to bring people together, music is one of those key things that do that. Absolutely. And, I've also been noticing too, now in the past few years, actually, rap artists are grabbing onto that rock element. They're bringing the punk, the rock into their shows and into their music, and it's meshing more.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So it's, and I was seeing your guitar videos. You've been posting more of them, I feel like. Yeah. And I like it a lot. I feel like it's definitely, you have an advantage with the background.
Yeah,
with that background.
It was just kind of something to show. I wouldn't say the competition, but just to kind of just show the other other listeners out there. They're like, I have another element to me. There's something more than just I can rap.
Yeah, yeah.
And my buddy once said to me, he was like, dude, everybody knows you can rap.
Yeah.
Like we've been listening to you for 6-7 years now. You know you can rap. But he's like, but I sit here and when we're in the studio and you sing or you play bass or you play guitar, he's like, we never hear any of that in your music.
Yeah, you got to show people.
Yeah, and he's like, why wouldn't you showcase that? And it was weird to me because I kind of just I was like, I guess I don't know why I did.
Yeah, why haven't I?
It wasn't. I never thought about it. And I was like, it's so easy.
I mean, it always sticks with me because if you watch artists, and we were looking up someone last night that if you go back and look at her stuff 10 years ago, it's like, whoa, it's not the same person.
Yeah.
It's because I feel like at the beginning of your career, you got to learn how to do this first.
Absolutely.
And then once you feel comfortable, it's like all your other elements that make up who you really are.
Yeah.
And why you got into it, they start to come out because it's so easy to just, okay, now I can produce what I hear in my head.
Yeah, you know your formula. You know your own formula. You know what I mean? You can kind of,
yeah. Because it's like watching Beyonce. Her first song was with Wyclef and Destiny's Child, and then you look at her 20 years later, it's a whole different person.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny you say that because you said 10 years. Because I'm on my 10-year mark. I started when I was 16. Yeah, I started when I was 16. You listen to like I tell people all the time, new artists that come to the studio and to work. I'm like, dude, it took me 10 years to find my sound. Literally, I'm just now finding a sound where when I hand somebody an album, I'm like, if you don't like it, I don't care.
Right.
Because this is me. This is 100% me. I've never felt more comfortable on tracks in my life. So if you don't like it, you don't like me, and that's cool. That's fine. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not front for anybody. So it's like, it took me 10 years to get to that point as an artist as far as confidence and writing and all of that. So it's like, it's definitely it's a process as far as who you are as an artist. I think sticking with it is part of finding yourself as the artist. You know what I mean?
To master something, it takes 10,000 hours is the whole thing, and that's about 9 years every day for an hour or two. So that's 10,000.
It's funny that's actually the schedule that I'm on right now. I try to do an hour or two every day at least.
So you still got to be people. I wish I could put in 10 hours a day.
Oh yeah, I got a kid too. You know, so it's
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you got life. So
a lot of people we talk to, it feels like after that 6-7 year mark, it becomes a whole different
absolutely
changes the game a little.
It's real. It's more. It's not like train. I don't know. It's like training and practicing becomes.
I feel like you try to please other people. Like when I was growing up, I came up with MCs. You know what I mean? I came up with hip hop artists. So it was like I would always try to be like them, and spit hard bars, and it definitely helped me in the sense of getting my bars up and how I rap. But I look at it now, and I'm not saying I'm softer than them, but I do have more of I have a different side to me than just you know what I'm saying? I do kind of get sad every now and then. I do feel some sort of way every now and then, and it's nice to be able to express that.
Yeah, that is dope.
You know what I mean? It is music is a therapy for me. So
right. So how would you if somebody asked you, how would you describe your sound to people?
Damn.
I mean, that's a tough one, right? Because I hear a lot. I mean, I hear the rap, and then you sing a little bit. I hear acoustic elements, put it in motion. We had the piano in there. It is you have a sound.
Yeah. I would. But how do you describe it? Yeah, it's hard to describe.
Sometimes you can't though.
It's like when somebody asks you, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So we'll just tell people go listen.
Yeah, I would say just go listen. It's kind of poppy. It's hip hoppy. It's got bars. It's got melodies. It's it's got a little bit of everything.
It does. So it really does.
I feel like I can touch a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. And then as far as inspiration goes, you were saying you were coming up with the MCs. Who did you really look up to draw inspiration from?
There's an artist out of Hartford, and it's so funny that I drew inspiration from him because our styles are so different. But his name is Sax Fifth.
Okay. Oh yeah, we actually played a couple of his tracks.
Yeah. So I went to school with one of his really close friends, and he introduced me to sax. And right off the rip, it was just something about him. I was like, this dude is real. This dude is genuine. He's got it. And I always just wanted to that realism that he had. The when I hear it, I know he's not lying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know sax too. You know what I'm saying? So we've chopped it up. But when I heard it and I didn't know him, I just believed it. There was just something about him where it was just the things that you're saying, there's no way you haven't experienced that to say that.
Right.
So I always wanted to keep that because in my lyrics are very similar. I write about everything in my everyday life or things that I see, and so I always looked up to that, you know, in him, and he's a hip hop MC. He's very, very rappy, you know what I'm saying? So I like to keep my bars very, you know, very real and very true to me.
Right.
And then like the melodies, you know, I kind of just, there wasn't really a inspiration growing up that I would like look to, but it was just kind of like I would always just sing in the house. Mm-hmm. And so it was always just like, if I'm doing it, if I do it naturally, why wouldn't I put it in my music? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just kind of added it in. I love a good melody. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah. I mean, you could tell, you could hear it too.
Yeah, I was in a church choir when I was a kid too.
Okay.
So
you really did give a little bit of everything, and then you put it in your music.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's really dope. So are you working on any projects right now, or you know, you got anything coming up?
Right now, I have a new single coming out on the 13th. We just put it up so it'll be December the 13th. It's called Ashtray.
Okay.
As far as like a album, I'm kind of working on an album. I'm not really stressing it. This is the first time I never really put a deadline on myself.
Okay.
I've always put deadlines on myself, and it didn't really force me to I guess force the music, but it forced me to force the process of after the music was done.
Right.
And I kind of just rushed it, and now I want to really make sure that if I have a solid album, I want the promo to be right. I want the layout, the rollout to be right. I just want everything to be perfect. So I'm kind of just
naturally.
So I'm taking my time, and in the meantime, we'll just drop singles in between until we have a body of music that we think is actually
I like that approach though. Sometimes you just gotta you can't always put a deadline on it. You know.
Yeah,
you just gotta let it happen.
I forced a couple of things before, and I don't listen to them anymore.
Yeah,
because I know they're forced. You know I remember them.
You remember that moment in your life where you stressed yourself out about it, or you're like, I just don't want it. I don't want that memory. No, that's dope though. So we'll be looking forward to that. But you got the single coming out soon. And anything else that you want to let people know? You want to make sure people know?
Just the single coming out the 13th, and then there'll be a video coming out shortly after that.
Dope. And you have a website too, right?
I do, IanUpNorth.com.
Okay.
Another reason we should just change the damn name.
Yeah, you might have to, man. You might have to. Think about it though.
Yeah,
it's a big thing. It's a big decision to make. But then at the same time, there are a lot of artists now who started out as something completely random. Bigger artists now who started out.
My favorite artist is T.I. He started out as Tip.
Yeah.
And he just went back to Tip now that he's got, now that he's the king of the South.
So if you have the talent, you change your name, whatever,
Yeah, that's true.
You still have your fans.
Well, actually, I feel like the Ian Up North, I feel like it wouldn't really change. I think people know me more.
No, because people already, so it wouldn't really shift things too much. Like, people wouldn't get confused or be like, who is this? They would know it's you. Yeah. And then you wouldn't even have to change your social media, which is beautiful.
That's the best part about it.
That's the best. It's always like, you're
Well, that's actually why it was Ian Up North, because I have like the team that I work with, they're out of Jersey. They're called the Kids Up North.
Okay.
And so we have, basically everybody's kind of just, Icon Up North, Angel Up North, whatever. And so the IanMatthew.com was taken, and the Ian Matthew tag was taken. So I was like, damn, what are we going to do? And someone was like, yo, Ian Up North. And I was like, hey.
And it was open.
And I was like, that works. Like, that's really good. And then that was kind of when it started. And like now that it's, more people be like, yo, are you Ian Up North?
That's dope, though. And you have it on all, like, Instagram, Twitter,
Twitter, Snapchat. I think the only one that's different is Facebook, and that's Ian Matthew Music.
Okay, but Facebook.
That's Facebook.
That's fine. Yeah. Like, if you got it on it, I'm not throwing shade, but I'm just saying.
Instagram, Twitter,
that's what matters the least.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, Ian Up North. I'm gonna start calling you. That's just what I'm gonna call you, right?
I like it.
So we're gonna play a couple more of your tracks. Thank you for coming through again. It was nice to finally meet you in person.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
And we will be playing your music. We'll play your single when you drop it, so send it our way.
Absolutely.
But yeah, IanUpNorth.com. Check them out, and on all platforms, social media platforms, Ian Up North, and on music platforms, it's Ian Matthew.
Yes.
All right, guys. So right now, I'm gonna play My Own Wave. I actually played this in one of my mystery mixes. So this is My Own Wave by Ian Matthew. We'll be back.
Before you because on that night that you played the My Own Wave, you played a joint by one of my homies, Cito on the beat.
Okay.
And he actually put it in motion.
Oh, word.
Yeah, so I went down to Jersey City I was in Union City, New Jersey. And like I said, my whole team is out of Jersey. But Cito's a very good friend.
Yeah, so we got to shout him out.
Absolutely. So shout out Cito on the beat for making that, putting the motion beat.
All right, guys. So this is My Own Way by Ian Matthew. We'll be back.
Man, I know these bitches watching cause I got my own wave. I know that they gon' copy, tell them get their own flave. I'm fighting for myself, I said I want my